open the May 2nd, 2017 Planning Board hearing. All rise for the early please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Gillette.
Here.
Dennis Legendre.
Here.
Sam Martin.
Here.
Roy Barron.
Yeah.
Tim.
Here.
And I'm here.
Peter Zavas.
Peter is on the way in. Come on, come on, come on.
Visible but not here. Congratulations.
Rick St. Jean is not here.
Just say here.
So you're gonna be, what happened?
Here.
He told me he's gonna be here too.
I know he was in a car accident this morning, but it wasn't bad, did he wreck his car?
I believe we have to, Sam, we have to read all these out one by one. The days,
I would say you have to do it because you got public hearing.
How's the public hearing?
yeah.
How do we gotta read them?
Public hearing on our planning board fee schedule. We open now. We have quite a few changes. I'll read the first ones. Under subdivision, it's $125 for subdivision application fee, plus $75 per lot. $210 public notice fee. Current postage rate of plus $1 for certified mail receipt. Each abutter, owner, agent, applicant. $28 land recording fee payable to Carroll County Registry of Deeds 24 by 36 plan. 26 plan recording fee payable to Carroll County Deeds for 22 by 34 plan. And $25 for the chip stamp payable to Carroll County Registry of Deeds per plan or plan set.
Review minor.
No, I'm just wondering whether we should vote on that first and then go on. Or should we do it? The whole
I think we do
thing?
the whole thing, we were agreement last time.
Site plan, go ahead, Roy. Read the site plan.
Okay, site plan review minor, $200 site plan review application fee, $210 public notice fee. Current first class postage rate plus $1 certified mail fee, return receipt fee for each abutter owner, applicant, agent. Site plan review major, $250 site plan review application fee, $210 public notice fee. Current first class postage rate plus $1 certified mail fee, return receipt fee for each abutter owner, applicant, agent. Do you like me to continue? Boundary line adjustment, $125 boundary line adjustment application fee, $75 per unit or lot, $210 public notice fee. Current first class postage rate plus $1 certified mail fee, return receipt fee for each abutter owner, applicant, agent. $28 plan recording fee payable to Carroll County Registry of Deeds for a 24-inch by 36-inch plan. $26 plan recording fee payable to Carroll County Registry of Deeds for a 22-inch by 36-inch plan. $25 for an, what does L chip?
L-chip.
L-chip stamp payable to Carroll County Registry of Deeds, thank you. Voluntary lot merger, current recording fee, payable to Carroll County Registry of Deeds. Excuse me. Earth excavation reclamation, $100 excavation fee, $210 public notice fee. Current first class postage rate plus $1, certified mail fee, return receipt fee for each abutter, owner, applicant, agent. Professional fees at cost plus $25.
One question. Voluntary lot merger, is there such a thing as an involuntary lot merger? Or is this, should this just be lot merger?
Well, when we get into motion first, Bob, and then we'll talk about that. Make a motion that we accept
I'll second.
the fees as read and being effective as of May 3rd, 2017. Discussion. Now you can bring it up, Bob.
Yeah, so voluntary lot merger, is there a difference between that and some other kind of lot merger, like an involuntary lot merger?
There is an involuntary lot merger on the books,
Okay,
but we don't charge for it. We never have.
okay, very good.
Any other discussion?
I make a motion, we accept.
It's already,
I've already made it.
Oh, there is, okay.
You seconded it.
I did, okay.
Yes.
There's a motion accept, I'm sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. We'll close the public hearing on planning board fee schedule. Minutes of 4/18/2017.
Make a motion, we accept them.
Made and seconded. Discussion.
Laura, did you incorporate comments that I emailed you this morning?
I didn't have anything from you this morning.
I checked to make sure that the planning board address was correct.
I'll double check, but I didn't have
You
any
must not have made it.
emails this morning.
And we did make it.
Rick is here at 7:08. Want to make them verbally, Bob?
I'm looking for the relevant place here, and I'm not actually seeing it.
What was it on?
Are we looking for Bob?
References to myself here. Oh yeah, here we are. We're on page 4 of 8. The discussion concerned Tamworth, the butter status. It says several board members resoundingly expressed a no decision, but Gillette kept voicing his opinions till the chairman and vice chairman strongly told him discussion is done. Okay, I object to including adjectives in these minutes. This is not a place for the secretary to make judgments or characterizations of discussions. We've gone over this before. Whatever you or she may think. Secondly, the discussion ended when Connie reminded me that town council had already offered an opinion on the subject. I was asking, shouldn't we ask town council if we'd acted appropriately? He reminded me that that had already been resolved. He showed me tonight, actually. And that is what ended the discussion, not merely by my being told to shut up. So I would like to remove the adjectives here, striking the word resoundingly. Gillette voiced his opinion, and the chairman said town council had already resolved the issue. That would accurately reflect what happened, I believe.
Actually, resolved, the issue was there. He said it and I said it, both last meeting.
I'm sorry?
We both told you it was resolved with the town council last meeting.
Yes, you both said that, yes, that's correct.
So that shouldn't be taken out.
Well, it wasn't in there, it's not in there now, there's no reference to that, that the town council had previously commented on this subject and resolved the issue. That's the point. I don't see it there. You?
You have,
This one.
no second. All right, we'll vote on Bob's amendment. All those in favor?
Who made the motion and seconded?
You made the motion
I didn't make a motion. I'll make it, I guess so.
to accept the minutes, you did.
What's that?
You,
I made a motion for the minutes,
to accept the minutes,
accept the minutes as they were.
right?
So now we vote on that motion, and then we vote on the motion to
No,
amend?
you vote
No,
on
we
the
have to
amendment
change the
first.
change first, because you can't change them after you accept them as they are.
Yes,
You have to, right,
fine.
you made a motion to change the minutes,
But there's a
to
motion
amend the
on the
minutes.
floor. There's already a motion.
There was a motion on the floor, Connie,
But he-
you asked for
he
discussion,
asked-
and
he's
I,
asked
To amend it.
To amend it, which comes first?
Okay, go ahead.
You have to do the motion then
We
first.
have to
so what are we voting on here?
rescind his motion to accept the
No.
minutes and then do a motion to
No.
accept the minutes as amended.
I think so.
We can do it both ways. We can do it either way, I mean, Robert, you vote on the amendments, then you vote on the motion.
Okay.
I already did the correction before we did the final vote,
But
before.
it's
So
up
he
to the
made the
board.
motion, there's no second?
I don't know, I haven't heard a second,
I'll second.
If there was no second, then there's no motion.
right? But
Well, he just
Tim
seconded.
seconded it.
I'm sorry, the motion is then, what, to accept the minutes and then to amend them, or what are we doing here?
No, you're accepting your
Your motion.
Oh, okay, I didn't
accepting
know.
your amendment to the minutes.
Very good, okay.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion's defeated. Now we will vote on the minutes as recorded. All those in favor? All those opposed? 3-2. Motion carries.
I hope tonight's minutes will reflect that discussion accurately, without adjectives.
Financial, what do you got on financial? Or anything? You have any financial? No, no financial, okay. No budget, unsatisfied conditions. We're still pending court decision on Westwood Gate, West Shores, North Gate. The first one, I think we ought to remove, because we'll never get it satisfied. That has been sitting since November of,
Have you sent such a letter, Connie?
we, Steve, did you try to get down there?
You go.
Yeah, I went down too. Nobody has ever responded.
So they have received a letter, was it a registered letter?
No,
Yeah.
you're gonna send it. That's the problem. They have no, they've changed hands twice since we did this. So I feel that it's a waste of space. And, it's just like on,
Do we know who's in there?
Yeah. It feels like a zoning enforcement issue, not a planning board issue.
well, they were supposed to tell us, otherwise they were gonna have to have a site plan.
Right.
I mean, we can turn it over to Steve.
I write a letter to the selectmen requesting, if you'd like me to go and do whatever it takes. That's how it works.
Okay,
We need a motion for that?
make a motion that we write a letter to the selectmen informing them of WD's non-responsive to us, and would they please send the zoning officer down, get it straightened out, And we should explain that they were given the choice to write a letter to us or have a site plan. They said they'd write the letter,
And they've had a lengthy amount of time to do it in.
right?
Second.
Made second. Discussion on it.
Very quickly, can you explain to me what's going on here with this?
Right across from the car wash.
It's the old,
Which
Up
car?
there, Affinity's old building.
Okay, yes.
There's a big sign out there.
Oh, yeah.
When they first came to us, they were asked, what are you gonna do? Well, we're just gonna do,
Repair printing equipment or something like that.
well, no, they were gonna just create certain things that were said to them.
Create a little bit of storage, I believe.
And that's what they were gonna do. And we said to them, well, we need a letter from you or you need a site plan. And they said, well, we'll send a letter. And we've never received a letter.
I do believe you're Selectmen's representative at the time that came in your last year, I think.
No, he wasn't.
No, this was in 15.
15?
Yeah,
That was after I left.
That was after?
yeah, Frank was 2 years. You were the first year Frank was here.
Correct.
In this last 2 years of Frank's term, you
I was
stepped
not.
down. Right.
Connie.
Sorry.
Should this letter also be copied to or even addressed to the owner rather than whoever's occupying the site at this point?
That is up to the selectmen.
Yeah.
That's completely up to the selectmen whether they want to do that.
Once it leaves here, it's your
Okay,
ball.
our letter is to the selectmen.
Correct.
Right, okay.
Asking that Steve go down and straighten it out. All right. More discussion.
I thought so, yeah. Okay. That's it.
All those in favor?
Nobody from the public?
This wasn't what was this regarding?
It's the old Lidell building.
Not Westwood Shores,
No,
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 thank you,
no.
okay.
This is down on Route 16 across from the car wash. They went in there, they packaged material to be sent, and it was just like manufacturing. They came in, Dave Senical sent them in to us to see if they needed a site plan, where there was only about 2 employees, and, you know, it's a big plant, old Affinity plant. So we just said, well, just send us a letter, and we will bypass the site plan, just so that we had something on record for that lot of land of what they were doing.
Oh, I see.
That answered,
That's fine, thank you.
okay.
This is nobody else to take the vote.
So we got the motion, we got the second. Do we vote? Did we vote?
We did
No.
not.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Irving Oil is finally sent in, which is case 17-2 SPR. We now have the plans and with the signature blocks. The motion that would be, they have met all the other requirements as of last meeting. The only thing that was missing was, on the plans, was the signature block. They have it now. I motion that we approve their final approval.
I second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Motion carries.
How many of these you got to sign?
11.
Oh.
Second.
Did they be signed?
Second.
4 in April. Thank you. Good news, Darcy. All this is the same, huh?
Case number 17-3, special use permit. Mark, you got anything new to add to us before we sign it?
I'm sorry?
Do you have anything new that you would like to bring up while we're signing these?
Regarding Valley Point,
Yes.
a date has been selected for the traffic count. It's not public, but it has the date and the seasonal adjustment factors have been approved by DOT traffic. We have identified an area for the fuel delivery station that will not require any waivers from any wells on-site or off-site. We are awaiting that approval from DES Water Supply Bureau. Once we have that approval, which we're anticipating at any time, we will submit the individual septic disposal system design to DES for that approval. The underground storage tank designer, Dennis Boisfair, he's been here a couple of evenings with us. He just told me this afternoon late that he had gotten approval for the use of a dual wall flexible pipe that won't require any joints whatsoever. Potentially a little bit more expensive to purchase, but in the long run, less expensive.
DES approval
Very, very quickly approved.
from,
No, it hasn't been submitted to DES yet. Approval from the manufacturer of the equipment. It was different than, it is double wall, it's coaxial. If you've ever cut open your cable from cable TV, you know, it's got the braided, stranded stainless steel wire and then a casing of really hard plastic. And then within that is where the, excuse me, where the fuel will run. The difference between this and jointed piping is simply that, there's no joints. And the manufacturer of the pumping, the fueling stations as well as the fuel delivery station, dispense and fueling, excuse me, this piping will work with that equipment. When he was here 2 weeks ago, he wasn't sure of that and couldn't represent whether it would or not. Let's see, he is now at the point where he will be finishing up his underground storage tank design and drawings, specifications for submittal to DES for review and approval. There's a good chance in 2 weeks when we come back, we'll have some of these outside approvals. Probably not DOT, because that's a bit more of an involved study. The analysis first, and then the results of the count need to be studied, and then potentially design plans need to be developed. But I'm here to let you know that everything is moving forward. Thank you.
are there any changes in the design of what you presented at our last meeting?
I'll set up over here. There are a couple of minor changes, but the overall picture is identical. We found that by sliding this pad, this is the fuel delivery station pad, sliding that to the west, we can get code compliant distance or separation from the last of the surrounding wells, Mr. Eldridge's house here. So the pad, the concrete pad, slides south 15 or 20 feet.
South or west?
Excuse me, thank you, west. And
That is
only west.
Closer
not
to
south.
16.
Yes, sir. And that still meets the setback requirements of the provision in the zoning orders that Connie pointed out at the end of the meeting 2 weeks ago.
20 feet.
Yes, from town roads and, yep. And otherwise, oh, okay, the location of the oil and water separator, just tidied up the layout a little bit. That moves, rotates clockwise and tucks right in this corner here. And really, that's about it. Oh, I'm sorry, and we moved the location of the well ever so slightly. Again, to make sure that all wells on-site and off-site are in compliance with the setback requirements as set forth by DES when we're dealing with underground storage facilities.
As you move that delivery pad west toward Route 16, do you still have a capture feature that captures any gasoline that may be spilled externally?
Absolutely.
That slides with it.
Yep, the pad will be curved and it will be sloped gently to a low point, and that low point, there will be a catch basin frame and grate. That goes right into the oil and water separator. And after taking a look at it, I'm thinking that I'm going to recommend a larger oil and water separator than we'd spoken about earlier.
Okay, 2,500 gallons.
2,500 gallon, yes, but I want to sleep at night for lack of a better reason, you know.
Because Jim referred to it as a 2,000.
Right, it's shown as a 25.
It's shown as a 25.
What do you recommend?
Probably, they go up in increments of 500
500.
gallons, you know, 3,000, 3,500. That's just a visceral feeling. I have nothing to base it on other than, again, I want to sleep at night and not worry about it.
But most of what you would capture in that will be stormwater, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So you're capturing an extra 500 or 1,000 gallons of stormwater.
But it eventually passes through. It's a two-component tank, two-compartment tank, and the two tanks are separated by, well, a wall. And for the liquid to pass through, it needs to go through an inlet and an outlet baffle before going to the groundwater recharge area here.
So that catches any little spills that anybody spilled along the line if it rains.
That'll catch anything from the fuel delivery station or the fuel dispensing station, in theory. But we need to recall that both the fuel dispensing and the fuel delivery stations, they have grooved concrete, which capture a specified volume. Just like at the Holiday Pines station, and there are 5 parallel grooves all the way around. And I don't know what the volume is. You look at them, they're quite deep and quite wide,
They're
probably 100 gallons or more
they're
easily.
about 2 inches wide, about an inch and a half deep.
Yeah. I never knew anything about this until now.
Permanent limiting barrier.
That's it. PLB. Otherwise, the layout hasn't changed at all.
Mark, you mentioned the well.
Yes, sir.
Could you repeat what you said about the well? The on-site well?
Yeah.
It was gonna be relocated?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was as much as 5 or 6 feet
okay.
further south and west. The,
No, it was right up, almost up to your line there, back where your lights are.
Is that set concrete or does it say proposed well?
pardon me?
Does that say proposed well or does that set in concrete where you're gonna put the well?
Says proposed.
This is proposed, nothing set in concrete until
Well, then you can
it's,
put the well anywhere you want, it's not important.
well, that's true. But just as an overall update, DES will want to be sure that this landowner has complete control of his 100-foot protective radius. That protective radius can go into the right-of-way, but it can't go over the right-of-way, for instance. So once we established the most conservative right-of-way on somebody else's property, then, on the other side of the road, we were able to then get a better idea of where to place that well.
Yep. Well, that's what I basically meant.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of excavation past years. When it says proposed, as long as you're within legal
Right.
laws and limits,
Mhm.
you can put it anywhere in that space.
I always like to say, Roy, that nothing is cast in concrete until it reaches its 28th strength. And that's the truth.
Mark,
Yes.
you never found a layout for what was 41, right? According to,
According to, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
according
interrupt
to the
you.
plans.
I know that we did a lot of research, and in fact, I shared some wicked old highway plans with the cemetery trustees.
No, right here.
Okay. Yep, got it. Plains Road right-of-way note. Right-of-way limits, Plains Road, have been established based on reference for and on the location of existing monuments. No layout was found. So what my colleague Kevin Nash did, he wasn't able to find any monuments on Route 41, but he was able to find monuments elsewhere around the property, and then applied the deed math to what he found in the field, physical evidence, to come up with that line.
So that's not a true line, according to DOT.
The DOT has accepted it. I don't know that,
Well, what I'm getting at
Yeah.
is, if there's no layout on it, no monuments, they can say, well, we're going over here and it's ours.
in fact, they do that on their permits.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. They'll say, the right-of-way of Plains Road is 50 feet wide, measured from the center line of the traveled way, 25 feet either way. That's how DOT will handle it if they haven't got any good records.
Next question. These tags, you have not said exactly, size of them, number one. Number two, did you ever take a test pit where the tanks are going to be?
No.
Or was the test pit done up?
Test pit, 2 test pits were done.
Right,
One here and one here.
okay. So really, you don't know what's gonna be under those tanks.
We can make an educated guess, but do we really know? No.
Your tanks are going to be enclosed completely in cement.
No, they will not be concrete encased.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have a tub, then you're gonna put your tanks in it, which has the concrete has a bottom and the sides.
No,
No, I think not.
not like in ground tank you don't, it's above ground.
You can have that assembly that
Well,
Bonnie
that's
has
basically,
described.
that's what it looks like
underground.
here.
Well, okay, the concrete that you see is the pad on the surface.
Okay,
But to my knowledge, the tanks are double wall with sensors between the 2 walls, and they aren't encased in concrete, and they're not set in a concrete vault. And sometimes you can find that, but.
well, the only thing I'm looking at, where there's such a controversy because it's over the water resource district, would it be wise to put it in a concrete wall?
Very quickly, Mr. Chairman, has anyone suggested above-ground tanks? Was there a reason why?
Mark can answer that.
Yes, I can. The zoning board granted the use of either AST or UST, above-ground storage tanks or underground storage tank. Based on the appearance of the gas station furthest south on 16 in town,
being
I
run.
took some photos of that and went to the ZBA and said, okay, you have this, or you have them underground. The zoning board, of course, can't dictate aesthetics, it's not their job, it's just a zoning question. And the landowner, the design team, opted to go underground for appearance sake.
The Irving station we just approved, the propane tank will be set in a vault underground.
No, it isn't a vault, it's basically an anchor to keep it from
Well,
floating up
yes,
out of the
it's not a
ground.
vault, it's a pad that allows it to be anchored, because it's likely to float otherwise in the groundwater.
But they don't have the water table situation there
No,
that they
don't.
have over here.
We're talking
Exactly.
about propane, we're talking about gas.
I understand, but
They're two different.
Two different, let's not,
Two different set of laws.
Propane by law has to be
anchored,
anchored.
yeah.
Fuel oil, gasoline does not.
Yep.
I understand what Mark just explained to us. And I will voice it openly with the board, my reservations with this is further contamination or even agitating something that might be underneath the surface. Would it be outside the purview of this planning board to suggest or require them to do above ground?
We can't require anything that's not law in our books. But let me jump in there for a minute, if you would, please.
Suggestion possible.
Above ground tanks, I consider them more dangerous, because all the gunpowder around, a lot of idiots around, fire hazards. I'd rather have it in the ground. And there's also I don't know how much the money is, but there's a pretty good chunk of money for cleanup if they hit anything. If they hit anything, they have to clean it. There's a super fund for that. So actually, if they hit anything, they actually improve the ground.
Okay.
So
Well,
that
we do
would
have
be my
sensors.
opinion, Peter.
There was $1.5 million in the proposal, petrol fund to clean that site. They had used 562,000 so far.
Okay.
So there's close to $1 million to finish cleaning that and continue testing.
Okay.
I think we've also been told that the known contamination on the site, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, known contamination on the site has now migrated off this site in the southwesterly direction.
That is correct.
Under
Route
41 and into the neighboring property, but so it's less likely or unlikely that anything will be disturbed in excavating the site. At least that's the theory.
If I read something correctly, the hole got poked by a steel rod checking the gas every night.
Yeah, I don't know, like that, you know, my issue is just that, I'm not a geologist, but the less that we disturb, the better on this site. But again,
Mr. Chairman.
That is up to the site geological.
I,
That big word, Mike.
Geologist.
Geologist.
so what about going with a containment tank underground, just as an added safety measure?
Well, and that's the question I asked Mark.
I wouldn't be opposed to that, I'd feel better.
Is, because then you don't have to be triple walled.
Yeah. And well, they wouldn't do triple wall anyway on those tanks, right? It'd be
Well, there is such a thing as a triple
Right,
wall,
but it's in earthquake areas, not.
double. I know,
but, I mean,
but everything's double wall.
Once again, it's up to the state. If it's not in our zoning, we can't make it do it.
I
no,
completely,
no. The state, we can be more stringent than the state.
If it's in our regulations.
Right.
No,
If it's not in our regulations, I'd be the first one challenging in court.
no.
We can put conditions on. We can put conditions on.
That's
I
right.
don't agree with that.
I think what you'll find is there needs to be a scientific basis for doing so.
Well,
more so than a previously contaminated site?
That I don't know.
Oh,
Mr. Chairman?
yes,
Currently, there's no contamination on site. The monitoring wells that are on site are both clean. I would rather see them dig this site up and know whether or not there's anything there.
I completely agree with you. I'm not even,
I wanna see that soil.
correct, because that's how we would remediate it. I am in complete agreement with that, that's absolutely fine, I just,
And I think they are under obligation if they, as excavating, if they
To find
discover some contaminated soil, which they discover by smelling gasoline, they immediately have to notify DES, which then supervises the excavation.
DES will be on site.
They'll be on site.
They wanna supervise this
No.
excavation.
DES has informed me that your geologist will be on site. DES will come on site once in a while,
Mhm.
but they will not be there 24/7.
No, but they said they'd be there on the initial day.
They will be there, and it will be under their supervision, period.
Yep.
That's part of the supervision fund.
okay.
If contaminants are found during excavation, that specific excavation must stop immediately. Bucket in the ground even, must stop.
Yeah, that bucket stops it.
I understand where you guys are going with this, I'm just,
Well, I'm
Thinking-
looking at,
without impeding them and without
right,
putting a huge cost on them or a burden, how can we make this a little safer?
We've been doing it the last several meetings.
I tend to agree with you. Having dealt with oil and at the site that I work, having above ground tanks, you have to have 110% recoverability. So if you have a major leak or you have a problem, it's right there, it's contained, it can't go anywhere. It's visible.
But
It's
they're also
underground,
single wall tanks.
You know,
Correct.
it would be nice
They don't allow single wall.
if it's just cosmetic thing that you're putting it underground, I think.
I don't think it's, I don't, s- can I speak? Speak? I don't think it's so much cosmetic as it is, in today's world, those above-ground tanks are a huge temptation.
Right,
And me,
right.
it's just, that scares me, seeing that much gasoline above ground in that neighborhood. So I would rather see it go underground for safety wise.
Well, we're not saying we can't ask or maybe look into the possibility of having some type of containment system below ground, is that?
Well, he just,
Speak to
Mike
him.
just spoke to that.
he will bring it back to,
Goes back to scientific basis.
We haven't had any,
No,
to my
Mike-
knowledge,
Mike's
leakage
spoke
with
to
the alarm tanks since they put them in.
Goes back to scientific basis. Give me $20, I'll find a scientist and he'll give you all the scientific basis you need, and that's the way it works.
So your $20 scientist is gonna make them spend $150 grand.
He's a scientist, isn't
Well, if he's a geologist, maybe.
I think we kind of beat this to death.
Yeah, I think so too.
well,
At every meeting.
Well, we want to be safe rather than sorry.
the water,
To the point, to the point.
the water and the sewer separator
Yes.
is, they're going to be, I'd like to see a maintenance schedule for that. What they plan on doing, you know, every month or whatever.
Okay.
You know, maybe you could base it on rain mark or something.
Sure. Time or rain event depth?
Right, I mean, this way, what I'm looking at is because there's so much controversy that whoever presents this in the end, and, you know, they open it, we could say, well, they put it on paper here that they're gonna do this and this and this. And it gives Steve something
Sure.
to walk in and say, well, where's your checklist, what have you done? So I kind of, and did you come up with anything on your height of your canopy?
Yes, but could I finish up
All right,
on the
go ahead.
best management practices, something that Steve can hang his hat on? I
Well,
did
that's the chief,
that in the chief.
yeah.
2 weeks ago, I read to you a draft of the groundwater protection plan notes. And I can add that to it, to those notes, Connie. I've come up with a couple of other enhancements over the past 2 weeks to add to that. In fact, this note will be moving on to a cover sheet this ultimate construction set will have a cover sheet that'll be covered with notes. Not the least of which will be the groundwater protection plan. The height of the canopy is 15 feet, and the lighting person adjusted her calculations accordingly. She got as much of a laugh out of that as we all did.
From 9 to 15.
I mean, we're just,
Yep.
next time you come in, I mean, you will have all this done.
Yes.
And as far as I can see, the only, the tanks, you're gonna put a cap over them, is that correct?
Concrete cap,
Mm-hmm.
just like at Holiday Pines. In fact, almost identical. That one's crowned in the middle in a cast water,
Both ways?
yep.
Well, actually, four
East
ways.
and west, yep.
4 ways.
And taking a look at that site has two 2,500 gallon oil water separators, because they have 2 points of stormwater discharge.
Yeah, they discharge one towards Menzies and one towards Hannaford.
Okay, Menzies is the one that isn't toward Hannaford. That's how-
Menzies is the payment company.
I don't know all the names of everyone, but I do know where Hannaford is.
Mark, I want to ask your views on an additional procedural enhancement here. In the event of a significant spill, you could define what significant means. It seems to me that as it goes into the oil water separator, the entire contents of the oil water separator should be pumped out immediately, because gasoline contains a number of water-soluble components, so that you may skim off the non-water soluble part, but water-soluble components will then be carried on into the groundwater, unless you immediately pump it out. Now, for a 1 gallon spill, maybe that's an unreasonable expense. For a 10 or larger gallon spill, that might be a reasonable thing to have to do. My view, what do you think?
I'll add it to the groundwater protection plan. No harm, no foul. You're correct, it would be very unusual to have a spill of any size. So we'll put it in the plan. Clean Harbors, that's an outfit that cleans things. This is what they do, they contract with gasoline stations
Yeah.
for events just like that.
So that should be part of the spill response, that anything sizable, define what sizable is, that goes into the oil water separation should result in a complete pump out.
I think that Bob's suggestion would dovetail well with yours, Connie, the continuing maintenance of that element of the plan.
I think that would come under,
Still over 5 gallons, that's what the state.
That's true.
So they would require them to be something.
Carl Huddleston. I think that comes under his. So before you come in next time, I think I talked to Carl and have a letter,
I'll speak with Chief.
you know, see if, what his thoughts are on the spill response, because we have nothing. And,
Great. He may not have anything. We'll put it together, all of us. Yeah.
no, he's got, don't worry, he's got something.
Okay.
I mean, you got M&B in his, you've got 3 stations in his district. The
Oh,
Gulf
that's right.
Station,
That's right.
M&B, and Watson. So, he's got a spill,
He must have something.
yeah. So, I mean, maybe if you could incorporate that into your
Yep.
water, you know,
Can do.
Clean Harbors is really quick.
Yeah.
Clean Harbors is really quick to get on the site.
I would think so, that would be part of their selling.
Numbers should be posted in plain sight for the people who work there.
well, the other thing too, Mark, is on your water separator,
Yes.
there's only one outlet, right?
Correct.
Maybe you could put a gate valve or something on that, that in case there was a spill, major spill, that could shove that in your tank with a container until clear, clean out has got there. That's a thought. I mean, that, run that by your, underground man.
It'd be an 18-inch gate valve.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And that would contain it, your spill to the tank.
In the event that there's a sizable spill and there's a rain downpour.
Right. Or just a sizable spill, because they're gonna come and wash it down.
Okay.
They're gonna wash it
Follow up on
down.
that, sure.
And, that way, at least we can say, hey, we've tried everything to make sure that it doesn't get in the aquifer.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I'm trying to look at. And that's why I asked you what kind of a vault you want to have.
That is another enhancement I've made in the past couple of weeks. Each of these catch basins are going to be a deep sump, meaning they have hooded outlets. So any spilling of gasoline here that finds its way there, it's not going to get much further than there.
Unless,
Belt and suspenders. I took the primary concern of the board, perhaps rightly, is a fuel delivery spill. But at any rate, we're going about this using every weapon we have in the quiver.
I mean, I'm getting more comfortable every time we talk to them.
Mark, are there sensors on the oil water separator, both chambers? Any kind of sensors?
During this discussion, I had the same thought.
Yeah.
I'll bet there easily could be.
If you could at least look into
Yep.
that, and bring that to us next meeting, that would be great.
Yep.
You can put in a high water, just like a sump pump.
Yeah, I think
The
that
same idea.
there are sensors that can detect the
The
weight
fumes,
of the fluid.
the fumes,
All the fumes, possibly. Yeah.
either fumes or, sheet.
Right. See, I was going to save that until 16th and say, I've got something new. You stole my thunder. Thank you, I will do that.
Thank you, Mark.
Does anyone else have anything they'd like to bring up? I think that, I gotta praise you guys for doing what you're doing, because you've,
Well, it's a cornerstone property in your town. It's your northern gateway.
and there's a lot of controversy, and yet,
Yeah.
we just wanna be able to say that, okay, we've done everything
Isn't that reasonable platform?
that best practice management has said we should do.
Likewise.
And, I mean, you people bent over backwards for our suggestions.
Can I ask one more question? I've been involved with a couple of spills in the past 20 years at the facility I work at. And both times that we had a major spill, it was due to the delivery man and his actions. Now, you have a delivery, and you have, what size is your tank gonna be?
There are 4 tanks and they are 10,000 gallon
Okay,
tanks.
is there at any time gonna be the possibility of a driver coming in, hooking up, popping off, and carelessly walking away or read a newspaper or something stupid, and the next thing you know, you've got fuel going everywhere?
There's always that possibility.
Do you have any type of alarm that will ring or let someone know, anything in that tank, that when it gets to the full mark, rather than a whistle, something that can really be heard, so that, hey, the tank is filled? Because, that's where the problems come.
Something that won't cost that electricity, blow it out, or electrical.
There needs to be something there to warn that driver that he is, if he might have 5,000, it's only gonna take 4, he can dump 1,000 gallons before he even realizes it.
Okay, another set of notes, different but related, fuel delivery and dispensing notes. Number 9, fuel leak sensor alarms and low fuel tank alarms shall be installed and located within the building, and shall have distinctly different sounds. I
Okay, that's
guess
low
there
fuel.
would be an
That's low
over
fuel.
full alarm.
Right. You want a high fuel alarm.
Yeah, a high, as opposed to a low fuel, a high fuel. Yep. I'll ask, no harm in asking.
Yeah, I would think you'd want the high.
I think the two sensors you all were talking about before was A, the low level leak in the tank itself, and the second is between the walls, the double tank, the sensor that detects anything.
Yep.
And what we don't have in the mix is what Dennis is suggesting here, is a high level. It's right up at the top within, an inch to go.
I like it. I don't know if there is such a thing, but I'd be
Requires-
No,
surprised if
they
there
have
wasn't.
them.
Actually,
We
they
installed
are
them.
there.
A musical ear on the part of the operator to detect which alarm he's listening to.
You got it.
It's gonna take a long time, yeah.
I mean,
One
it's-
the low alarm will have reveille and the other one taps. Just a thought.
I would imagine that they won't bill those more than 80%.
I have no idea.
When you get expansion.
Get expansion, they're not supposed to.
Oh.
That's not-
Yeah, I know, that's why you say more than 80%.
I would feel more comfortable if they had a high level alarm.
I like it.
Around 90-95%.
It's a cheap thing to put in, and,
Yeah.
I've seen it happen.
Yep, okay.
And, a responsible driver will just forget for a second. Get his mind on something else, and,
It's
it
mandated
doesn't
and
take
fair.
long. That's a 3-inch line, 4-inch line, it doesn't take long to dump 600, 700 gallons of fuel.
It seems like the likely location of that alarm would be out at the fuel
Yeah,
delivery
right.
station.
Right where he's-
Presumably, the driver isn't allowed to just walk away and go in and have coffee, use the bathroom.
No,
I'm guessing.
They're supposed to stand there.
supposed to have a spill operator there every time there's a delivery. You read your notes up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do.
It's just a thought. I've seen it happen twice, and it's unfortunate.
Mhm.
It was something that should have happened.
Mhm.
This would be a good protection. It's a cheap fix for what you're gonna gain from it.
Inexpensive insurance, do it up front.
I believe also your designer can probably tell you whether there's actually an actuator at the top of the tank that automatically shuts off fuel, because that is made for other types of chemicals, so perhaps it's also provided by manufacturers for fuel oil tanks and gasoline tanks.
As
Might
long
even
as he
be able
isn't
to-
pumping, he's all right.
Right.
To be
But
clear,
if he's pumping that fuel, it won't work.
I don't believe they can transfer
DES
fuel.
told me that the fuel delivery trucks are gravity fed.
Gravity fed,
They're
they're all-
pumping, so there's no pressure there to deal with.
It's a federal DOT requirement.
Anyone else? We thank you, Mark.
Thank you, I appreciate
Yeah,
the
but-
opportunity.
1 minute recess?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Mark.
Sure, thank you.
We got a little something ready to go.
Yes.
Car the other night.
Looks like a bomb went off.
Mark, I gave him the payoff.
I didn't see anything.
Everybody else is blocked now.
Pretty sure it's still on, Connie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
I'm working on it now.
intend to excavate, we got map, 124, lot 25. Total acres is 12 plus. I don't see how, well. Total permitted is 12 plus. He's got 5 acres plus open, reclaimed, nothing, as of April 1st. 31,000 cubic yards left to be excavated.
331. Did you say 31?
331, excuse me. 20,000 of sand. That's the Heckle lot down on 28. Map 250, lot 8 is on Route 16. And total acreage is 71, but total permitted area is 117. I don't think that's right, but
I emailed the assessing department, I'll have an answer, I've already emailed it.
yeah. Excavation as of April 1st is 3.1, reclaimed is 1. Got 30 unknown cubic yards to come out. Excavation estimated at 96,500 cubic yards. Gravel sand, Moultonville.
Excavation area is 3.4 with Connie, I think you said 3.1.
Open, that's open. Okay. Do you have anything from Ralph? You can't, no?
No, he was given, a site plan review application, and we went through his files and pulled out the map.
Was that a map he made or was it stamped?
I do believe it was one he made, but I'll double check.
Master plan revision, anyone want to speak on that?
Ken, if you wish.
But Connie, I have a question.
Yes,
We need to make some changes in the zoning ordinance,
correct.
some serious changes.
I
And I
understand.
think doing the master plan first is putting the cart before the horse.
I kind of agree with you because the master plan is based on ordinances,
Right. And I
which
think-
means that we're gonna have to put the master plan on for a year.
Actually, Connie, if I may say, just reading the RSA and the master plan today, drafting a little introduction, the master plan is intended to guide future changes in the zoning ordinance. So it's the horse before the cart. If we get the master plan done, we can do it fairly swiftly now, I think, within a month or so.
I don't think so, but we need to address the problems now, not change anything, but address what's there already for problems
That's right.
first. And get those cleaned up, and then we can work around it.
Any changes, significant changes in the zoning ordinance should somehow conform with the larger story told in a master plan. We need not delay much longer to get that done, would be my point.
The problem I have is that this zoning is not business friendly. And to make a master plan on our present zoning, you're gonna say the same thing, that we don't want business in town. And people are getting sick of conservation, they're getting sick of the high taxes because there's no businesses in town. There's a lot of open houses around. And, I mean, taxes are going,
Well,
people just,
these are the very questions, Connie, that a master plan should be addressing if it's gonna be useful at all.
I don't think so. I think it's the other way
It's the other
around.
way around.
What is the other way around?
We need to address the problems in the zoning ordinance before we do anything else.
Well, the master plan should provide you with a context and with information that's useful in this.
Like build-up studies?
We need to correct what's there before we start something new.
And we're not starting anything new. The point of a master plan is to look at our
So if
present
there's
situation.
nothing new, then why change the master
No,
plan?
no, no, no.
You just said you're not starting anything new, Bob.
No, no, no. Before we start changing a zoning ordinance, we have to have a context for changing it. And the master plan, if it's going to be useful, should address these very questions that you're talking about. It will.
I don't think it will.
I don't.
Well, it will if we want it to, and if we make it.
No, we will if you want it to.
No, 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 no. This is a project that we all want to be engaged in here.
I
So let me just summarize briefly what I have done so far. Connie and I have discussed an outline which grew out of discussions that Dennis and Rick and I had. The next step, and Connie is right, I think, in saying, is we all need to be engaged in the process of actually doing the master plan. It doesn't work, no matter who you are and what you're doing, to sit around a table and try to draft language from scratch for anything. What we did with our site plan review regulations and our excavation regulations was we came up with a draft. We then worked through it word by word. What you end up with may be something quite different than when you start with, that's fine, but you end up with a product that we all agree with.
But shouldn't changes to the master plan go before the voters at town meeting?
No, it doesn't go to voters, it's entirely a planning board process. As a public hearing and public discussion, and we want to engage people along the way, for sure, absolutely, it needs to be open and transparent. But one of the key purposes of the master plan ought to be, how do we enhance business development here? That's, to me, what's the point of doing a master plan if you don't address that issue?
If I may very quickly, the notion that one needs to be done before the other is completely absurd. You can make both, you can do it simultaneously. If it's gonna take up too much time, I'm speaking, thank you.
Sorry.
If you cannot accomplish both at the same time, then making changes to our existing zoning ordinances would be very prudent, rather than putting those off to draft a master plan. If we are making changes to our zoning ordinances, that is a clear indicator that those changes need to be incorporated into our master plan to help us guide it, to help guide us further. That's all I have to say.
The thing, I brought this up a month ago, 2 months ago, that the ordinances, Laura's gonna have a fight. We're gonna go through the ordinances. What we change, we take a vote to change them. Goes in that file. The end of the year, January, we hold a public hearing. This is what we wanna change, this, and this.
And why?
So that we're not doing everything come December 1st.
I was here for that meeting, and I understand.
And so that was put forth. Now we've got to do it. And as far as I can see, this gas station has brought up one of the problems. That the ordinance is 30 years old. It's out of date. It's discriminatory against businesses. They have end up going to the ZBA. Evans Brothers is one that I can think of right now, 16 across from Buchanan. They couldn't build what they wanted to, so they had to come in and go from 200 feet to 500 feet. Spend $1,000 for what? And it's small things like that. They don't seem like much money through the ordinances, but when you start putting out money to get something changed, that the planning board should have done a long time ago. It's ridiculous.
I completely agree with you.
So, I wanna do the ordinances first. So I will make that motion,
I will second it.
and we'll have discussion. Go ahead, Dennis.
I just wanted to say, that, we've all agreed that in order for a master plan to work, the people are gonna have to see progress. They're gonna have to see a reason to go to it, to read it, and to embrace it. One of the ways to do that, we have a zoning officer now, who's doing his job. We should be working with him. If he has zoning ordinances that need to be updated or something else needed in there to make his job easier, if you run into the neighborhoods and people can see things being done, they'll grasp this. But when they see no progress, they could care less, and I'd be one of them.
And
So-
Steve is working on that, he's,
Steve has been informed that if he's got a problem with something, which he did 3 meetings ago, campus, we gotta change it. So, and if Steve comes across stuff, he's gotta come and tell us. We've gotta work on it, change it, put it in the file. Come January, have the public hearing, put it in front of the voters in March.
I like that idea.
yeah, I agree.
And, if anybody else can think of any ordinance that is, seems bad to them,
We need to write it down.
We need to go through all of
We
them.
have a motion on the floor.
The town has an
no, we're in
economic,
discussion.
Okay,
We're in discussion on that motion.
We need to go through them all and make the town more business friendly without jeopardizing the town.
but we need to work closely with our zoning officer, because he's the one that's out there
Right.
seeing this.
And there needs to be some consistency also. There's still stuff going on in town where certain people are getting permits to do things and other people in the exact same situation are getting denied permits to do things.
You want to say something, Laura?
Can I make a
Well,
suggestion?
Well, no,
Hey,
it predates you.
Rick,
Yeah.
What time frame are you looking at for doing the zoning ordinances?
as we go along. In
So
other
not-
words, Steve's not gonna be able to tell us everything at once. He's
Are
gonna
you
plan.
looking to do a section at a time or certain sections?
I think we're gonna cherry pick the
My,
most important ones, correct?
Yeah, I think we need to, I think first of all, we need to address what Steve is coming across out there in the field. And anything else that's really blatant in there first. And then we can do the chapters. But I think we need to address what's not working at the moment.
And
I
we address it
only
after
ask
later.
only because if you're looking to incorporate this and do the master plan, I mean, we're already
Oh,
into
no,
May.
it's gonna be a year, and we're gonna have to do this first, and go through the town vote first, and then address the master plan. We
I mean,
really
we
need,
can't
we
work.
really need to get, huh?
We can't work on the master plan at
Right.
the same time.
of course.
But the final version will be dependent upon next March's meeting, town meeting, because we write the master plan for such and such, and the town says, no, we're not changing that ordinance. Then we have to revise it, so. Bob, you want to-
Yeah, we have an economic development committee, and I think we've agreed that we need to have input from them, not only for the master plan, but for specifically the zoning ordinance project. We can address issues as Steve discovers them, and I think we should, but we also need to get systematic input from these guys, these people in the economic development committee, as to what they think ought to happen in the zoning ordinance to make a more business-friendly environment.
I've been looking for Nash for a month and a half,
Well,
and he's disappeared.
He's disappeared into childcare, actually.
Yeah.
So give him-
Dad.
Give him a month, yeah.
Well,
He'll be finished in a month.
but I mean, I've talked to Josh Arnold from Ossipee Listens, and I've told them to get a hold of Laura, come in, explain what they did at candidates night, the ideas that were thrown out at candidates night, and if there's something in there that we think we can incorporate, either in the master plan or zoning, then we will,
And we need to,
We'll
they need
take
to
a
engage
vote
with
on
us
it.
too.
and put it forth.
Right.
I've been looking for Josh to do the same thing. The ZBA, they had the one thing that was, like either last year or the year before, on non-conforming expansion, because the guy wanted to build a deck, extend his deck out, and it would be more non-conforming. he could not make the setbacks. And the ZBA wanted us to change that. Dave Babson actually voted against it. They voted it down, but he voted against it being shot down. That was one instance. We'll have to send a letter to the next ZBA meeting that I can attend. I will address it with them, and they can think about it too. But I do not want to wait until the last 3 years. We've waited until the end of November, December, and rushed everything, and never, we did not get
Can I,
good, yes, right.
can I make a little recommendation? A lot of our meetings are short, some run over. Our meetings that don't run over, that we work on the zoning,
Well,
because we get to the busiest time of year for people like me. So when you start doing workshops, you can't really vote, you can make recommendations then. It comes back to the meeting
No,
anyways.
I'm not looking to make workshops,
So, if
I'm
you just simply
looking
work.
like,
every
right
meet-
now, we've had, I mean, in the past, I've seen, we've gone out of here at 7:20. Why couldn't we work on the zoning?
That's my point now.
And now, I mean, if we say, okay, we're here until 9:00, 2 days a month, I can stand it.
You know, a good example of there's no expansion of an existing non-conforming use is this thing that's going on at Duncan Lake where they were just granted a variance. The guy converted a woodshed into a 3-story house. And
And
the
they had it.
ZBA gave him a variance.
Go ahead, Steve, I know you wanna say something on that.
I
The
mean,
guy-
if that isn't a blatant disregard,
No,
You can't play the judge, right or wrong.
bullshit.
You can't play the judge. ZBA was wrong.
oh, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that
Never
they were
should have
wrong,
happened.
because the attorney,
Because
I
he
can't
wasn't.
remember who presented that, was it Jim?
Yeah, probably Jim Ryan's.
Jim Ryan. I got the feeling when they did that,
No, I'm just playing.
Okay.
that there was that little bit of a hint of, well, he's a lawyer, he's gonna go to court.
Well, so
And they
what?
blamed it,
Exactly.
and they blamed it on Dave Senical giving them permission.
He was never given permission to build a 3-story house.
No.
He was never given permission to pour cement within the Shoreline Protection Act without a shoreline protection.
None of this
plan.
pertains to making
What
the
did
town
the
more
state-
business
If it's
friendly.
not their
We back
place,
to our president
they should have
at
said
this
wrong,
point.
Yeah, we can-
take it down. If the town gets sued, shit would happen, but it was not their place.
What is the shoreline protection say?
Can we appeal, can I appeal the ZBA decision?
Too late,
Too late.
That's too late.
it's gotta be within 30 days.
When was it heard?
2 months ago?
Really? I just saw the notice, town hall.
I spoke with him. Yeah, I spoke
Well-
with Peter. He referred to it as a camp. They corrected themselves.
To where we
All right,
Peter who?
all right,
What is the motion that we're discussing?
motion is that we're going to take up zoning.
Yes. And you wanna put a deadline in there, a time frame? July?
We have a time frame, we have to have it done by.
You wanna read it
by
back?
March.
Motion.
Basically, the motion of hoping that we work on it on the meeting that don't run over.
The motion I have is to update the zoning ordinances first.
Yeah,
Connie, question, do we have currently an ongoing, a list that identifies those sections of the zoning ordinances that are in question right now? Have we started to generate that? Other than Steve's, I mean, anybody else within the
I
board?
picked a few,
Okay,
I mean,
would it be
Yeah,
prudent for us,
yeah.
I mean, certainly we can accomplish a lot during our meetings when we have time, but would it be prudent for us to also, when we have time, to do it when we're not here? To bring to the meetings? I mean, I know that's asking a lot.
you can, I go home, I watch this, and
Indeed.
just to make sure that what I said was
Sure.
what I thought I said. and I will read, something will come up, and I will look up the RSA's,
Right,
I'll
right.
read our ordinances, whatever, trying to figure out what's going on. But
Any member could do that.
Okay. I
All
just
you
wanted to
gotta
make
do-
sure there was some protocol there
all
already.
you gotta do is bring the list in
Sure.
and say, okay, this is what I think I presented.
Preferably, it's called doing your homework ahead of time.
Yeah,
Right, right.
me up.
Very quickly, have the new zoning ordinance books been printed up?
No, the information has gone to
Say,
Rick Sager
Ah,
2 weeks ago?
No.
no,
Rick's over in Tuftonboro now, over at the lake, forget it.
No, I sent it to him, I sent him the information 2 weeks ago.
I thought it was on stuff, right after town meeting.
No,
No,
no, because it was questionable as to who had the information, and
okay.
I got tired of seeing the
We
email,
have
so
a
I sent it to
We
him.
need to get back on the motion.
All right, all those in favor of the motion? All those opposed? Motion carries.
Make a motion that we work on this out, regular meetings after we do our regular business. We need that, or we just simply do it?
I think,
simply do it.
I think Laura can put it on the agenda under old business. Then, and we'll ask if anybody's got something, and somebody's got it, we'll discuss it.
If we got plenty of time, we may want to start going through the books.
Right. I mean, that's, you can do it at home by yourself.
Is there a PDF of that file that was sent to Sager?
It's right online. The zoning?
Yeah, but not what was sent to
Oh,
Sager.
no, it's in the Sager, no. Well,
You have-
yeah, it would be in the, on the tax, on the town clerk's page.
Mine, yeah? Easily.
Connie, can we ask Steve to provide us with his list as he generates it, so that we're not doing duplicate effort for anything? Because that would be helpful.
He has been bringing them out.
Okay. So I should be able to get them from Laura?
You'll have them in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. That's good, thanks,
You
Steve.
email my stuff all the time. Stuff.
Tiny did your job. Ed didn't see that. All right, revision of the planning board rules and procedures.
Outlook.
Why is it here?
Oh, Outlook. Okay.
Miss Laura? What is this three? Revision.
I received an email from Melissa,
Simmons,
huh?
Melissa Simmons.
Stevens, requesting if the planning board has a rules of procedure.
We do.
I know we do, but in the process of pulling it and reviewing it, it has not been updated since, when was it, 2009-ish?
Are you referring to the bylaws?
It's
Referring
actually
to
both.
bylaws here?
Bylaws and procedures.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Well, no, it's,
No.
the rules, procedures, and the bylaws are two separate things, but they were attached together. But yeah, they haven't been updated in a while, and checking to see if you guys want them updated.
Didn't you update the bylaws a few years ago?
Bylaws, I don't remember ever updating. Rules of procedure, I'm trying to recall. Could you circulate them, Laura, both bylaws and rules of
And
procedure?
they're already online,
Okay.
whatever it is.
It's my 9th year, I don't remember it being done.
I mean,
I
I
recall
don't
working
have
with
a
them.
file on it, there's no Word document, everything is in a PDF form.
We
So-
did address some of these things probably 3 or 4 years ago. I do recall that. 2012, okay.
If that's what we're talking
I believe so. I know we, at the same time at that meeting, we created the, asked Pat to file things differently, file them by map and lot instead of name of the owner, because there was confusion. There
Because
were
the owner changed it.
changes, and then we had issues. And Bob also made some suggestions regarding,
Yeah, because this one that I have, that's online, is
Yeah.
2008 was the last revision, amended.
We fixed some small
And
stuff.
this is what's online.
okay, well, there were some small
We have
things,
not changed
procedural and
the
bylaws,
bylaws.
things that were addressed, I thought.
We haven't changed the bylaws, we've
Wasn't the
changed,
bylaws, it was.
changed the procedures.
I hope.
And the procedure, the only thing I have in is a handwritten,
That's all that was changed.
okay, there's no date on it, doesn't say when it was revised or anything.
That is online now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's why I question. Because Melissa also forwarded copies from 3 other towns that we could use as reference. It didn't help find.
I hope you just send them back to her.
I went, thank you, and I'll look into it.
Okay, ZBA cases from May 9th. Robert Perry. Tax map 65 lot, A3 sub 33 is applied for variance. Article section 6.4.1A and 6.4.2A to replace an existing shed and construct a new utility shed within 40-foot setbacks. Why is this a sub 33? It says,
That was the lot number that came up.
well, sub usually is a campsite.
Just say, is he going bigger or smaller?
Well, he wants to replace an existing shed.
Harry,
If I may, the existing shed he wants to enlarge, he wants a new shed on the other corner of the property. Isn't that zoning?
that's what this is.
This is,
It's
That's-
notifying the planning board of this zoning case coming up.
yeah, that's what it is.
The other ZBA case next week is Westwood Shores. Pre-hearing, public hearing. Anybody wants to be finance officer, get your application in by tomorrow. Or you wanna go down the sewer beds and unload trucks. That's up for grabs tomorrow too.
They're looking for a laborer/attendant.
Yeah. And unload the tanks.
And mow the grass and.
Mow the grass.
Yes, yes, yes. And so far, they've only had one.
The other one is the finance and benefits administrator.
Anyone got any other business? Tim,
Nope.
Steve,
No, sir. Motion we adjourn?
motion made, seconded, adjourned, discussion. All in favor? Motion carried. Good night. Shut it off, man, shut it off.
I was referring to the vegan